क्या रैंकिंग देते हैं किसी भी
चलो
तरह
गाइस,
की कुछ।
तो अब अबाउट 9:35 हो गया, सब हो गया। तो यहाँ पे वी कैन सी दैट आई हैव जस्ट highlighted few in particular color codings few of the topics. So the yellow ones are the ones which we have already done, and the green ones are those which I am planning to keep on the upcoming Saturdays and Sundays, because just to have that, that aha moment of having a proper GD with our webcams on. And these are the topics which we can very well expect in any of the GD. So that's why I've highlighted these green ones. We won't be doing this today. And now coming to today's target, which is from the 11th to 15th. So let's go ahead with the first one. That should investment in education be priority for current India? Okay, so I'll just paste it in the chat, and now I'll quickly share the timer. Yes, guys. So let's start the session. Okay.
So hello everyone, guys. So investment in education sector. Okay. So in education sector in India, the investment is much needed because of the backward areas and the
education primarily in our country is very much needed right now, as education is the foundation for everything. Education is the foundation for a better growth for our country. Education is a foundation for a much civilized population for our country. The population would indirectly be also be in control. It is observed that 70% of the families that are educated have better family planning, and hence the population control is present. So the control in our, because it is expected by 2030, by 2027, I'm sorry, India's population will exceed China, and that's a very big concern. So one of the important factors for our country is to uh, primarily focus a lot on education and provide ample budget for educational purposes. What about you guys? What do you think?
Yes,
I
dude,
think
completely I agree with you. But the thing is, as per the union budget of 2021 to 2022, we can see that the government has actually presented a draft to decrease the educational spendings for a particular year by 30%. So I guess this is not a great step, though we need the educational investment in terms of the infrastructure, that is having good schools, proper benches, blackboards, teachers, as well as the network infrastructure, so that a particular kind of knowledge can be transmuted from a central part of country to all over the part of the means all the native parts of the country.
I partially agree with this point. Actually, when we talk about India, India is one of the country where education is like a biggest platform where both students and talk about when I talk about students and teacher both come and actually teachers monetize. Today when online education introduced the concept of online education introduced, you can see YouTube and various platforms flooded with different types of teachers giving education to children. Okay, so India is a country which is known for its competitive education environment, and to to give it a proper structure, to give it a robust infrastructure, it is very much necessary to give in education a priority which current India deserves uh, and wants to build our future, our generations on the same line. So I think that the investment in education is something that India is currently doing by introducing a new education policy, which is something that which is very much required right now, and as soon as it is implemented, it will be very beneficial for our nation.
Yeah, I
In my
also
opinion,
completely agree. India, like currently in the last budget, India spent only 6% of its budget in the education sector, which is very less as compared to the other developed countries. So India should also definitely increase its education budget, and the government of India should take example of the Delhi government. Like they have completely revamped the government school system, and now the Delhi schools, the government schools are even better than the private ones in Delhi. So government should take example of that and try to follow their example and revamp the sector in that way. And in that, if government schools become as compared to the private schools, they become comparable, then definitely the more kids will start studying in the government schools, and in this way the revenue of the government will also increase, and this would be a positive step in the terms of education sector. Yeah.
In addition to Rajat's
in
point,
my
I would also
opinion,
like to point out a fact
the-
that what we have as a Shark Tank, where people come with new investment ideas and new entrepreneurial ideas to have their fundings. Even Delhi government is doing the same thing for small kids. They're promoting the kids to have that entrepreneurial background and a mindset, so that in the longer run they can develop the entire ecosystem of the proper nation building. So what a great idea they're having. I guess this needs to transmute to other parts of the India as well.
I absolutely agree with Himanshu. Like the Delhi government is promoting entrepreneurial mindset. So we already know the more entrepreneurs there are in this country, the more job opportunities we'll have, the more positive effects we'll have on this country. We should also look at the fact that India's current literacy rate is that of what China had in 1991. So we are lagging behind a lot, and the infrastructural development on education is really important for India to actually become a superpower, which it promises to be in 5 6 years.
I completely agree with this point. I would like also like to mention that currently our education system is more of generating um, employees which are like perfect for a service based industry. I mean, when you talk about highest migrants in US and Canada, the most of them are from India, which and most of them do go there to pursue higher education. So what drives us, what drives Indian culture, what drives Indian population is education. And if we are not investing in it, and if we are not like forcing our giving a proper infrastructure to our crowd, then I think it's totally injustice. And currently, to develop India, to become a developed country, we need a manufacturing sector to grow, we need innovations, we need creativity. And for that, I think education should be molded in a way where we develop entrepreneurs and more independent kind of citizens. So this will only come when a proper investment in the education scenario will be done.
I would like to extend one more thing that Priyesh mentioned right now, that a lot of Indians have this service sector mindset where they move to different countries, and the migrant population of India is the most in US country, in foreign countries. We need to also understand why this is happening, why people are leaving our own country to study or to work abroad. Why can't we have enough opportunities here? Why is our education system not as appropriate as the other countries? Why can't we do that? This is a very big question when it comes to asking people that why our education is not up to the mark. We need to be able to stand aside countries like USA, Denmark, Australia, which has a higher, very high rate of literacy. This would have a lot of falling factors like domino factors, positive domino factors.
Yeah, also in addition to that, I would also like to mention that India, apart from the investment in education, India also needs to change the curriculum of the education system. curriculum which presently the country has. So for example, Delhi government has introduced a happiness curriculum for children below the age of 10 years, in which moral values will be taught to the children apart from the regular syllabus. I think this is very much required in whole of India, because these days, the in the rat race of education and earning higher and higher grades, the moral education is going down of the students. So this is the very positive step. I think such curriculum should be introduced in the early stages of the children, so that in future they can become a good and responsible citizen of the country. Yeah.
With this, I would also
If
like
we
to
talk
add.
about so if we talk about as a whole, the mass should be educated. Okay, so the focus should be on the mass, and the focus how they can that focus can be on mass through the infrastructure development. Okay, so the base is what investment in the infrastructure.
Yeah, one more thing I would like to add. Our country has made a lot of progress when it comes to when it comes to bringing new policies in terms of education. One of the most recent policies, which is very beneficial for our country, is the new education policy of 2020. One of the best features of it is that we are not subjected to 4 or 5 subjects of one particular stream. We can choose subjects in our own, and this would build up students in a very cognitive and a very interesting way. We will have knowledge about psychology along with commerce, along with accountancy, and along with biology. We can choose anything that we like. uh, Advik, would you like to conclude this discussion?
Yeah, so basically investment is much needed in education sector. That's what I want to say.
Well, guys, it was a great session, and especially Anirudh, buddy, you rocked it. You had the perfect, statistics. When we talk about, you gave opportunity to other person in terms of leadership skills. Rocked it, man, rocked it. Really great. Anyone
Dhanyavad,
else would
Dhanyavad.
like to give any kind of feedback?
Yeah, I think the GD was good. I think today people are quite less, so there was very less conflicts today
Yes.
because of less people. Yeah, yesterday the I think around 13, 14 people were there, so there were more conflicts.
Yeah, but what happened? What the kind of
I think there
scenario which we
was
had
no.
yesterday? That is what actually is going to happen in GD, because
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
we're going to have about
yeah.
10 people in
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
room.
It would have been better if we would have like 2 to 3 people more. It would have given us a real perspective of what the GD would go. We should be able to handle the conflicts. We should be able to practice that, and for that we need 1 to 2 people more. At least 8 or 9 would be good enough for us to have a very close enough session to what would actually happen in the actual process.
I guess I should start charging so that people would understand the efficacy.
Yeah, I what I did was I forwarded the message again. I thought maybe a lot of people might have missed that link. If people don't have the energy to scroll up and click on the link, I thought I'll just forward the link again so that people can join in. And I messaged again, please join in. But to no avail. Either I guess 1 or 2 people joined. That's all.
I think the
Because
people
the
are waiting for the
sessions.
calls right now. Once the calls will be out, then more people will join.
Well, proactiveness is not like it's not kind of personality of having everyone in a. Any which ways, guys. Now let's moving on to the other topic, which is gender in politics. And why this is important, because at the moment when we talk about current affair based GD, so something is happening right over in UP. Okay, what has happened in Haridwar conclave of so-called Hindus, there was some issues, or rather a
Hate
person
speeches,
of,
but
yeah,
yeah,
hate
hate.
speeches, and after that there was a kind of impostering over females, or other misogynical implications on the female politicians. So this topic, gender in politics, turns out to be quite important one. So I'd just like to know, should we take it at the moment or not, or we should take it tomorrow, so that everyone has few prepared current affairs, so that they can take the proper names who were involved, what they said.
I think I think we should take it tomorrow or on Saturday when we have enough people. Especially, it would be great to have perspective of girls on it, women on it, because it's when it comes to gender based discussions, uh, appropriate number of guys and girls would be a good option for us to continue with the discussion. Sometimes when
Yes.
one particular gender is there, the discussion turns out to be one-sided, kind of, not always, but sometimes. So it would be preferable to have more girls in this discussion so that
So
we
yeah,
can
so I think then there can we
have
can have a
this.
balanced discussion. Yeah, once
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
girls and boys are both there in equal proportions, then we.
Well, then moving on to the next one. Is digital detox important? I'll put up the watch. Yeah, I'll just reset it and let's begin.
One of the very if, Hi everyone. One of the important factors that we need to understand is what do we mean by detox. Detox is something that uh, is a combination of two words, D and tox. It's an abbreviation. Tox means toxic toxins, and D is a form of saying negative or reducing. So detox basically means detaching ourselves or reducing the toxicity of digital mediums, mobiles, TV, laptops, stuff like that. So digital detox is very important in this current scenario because as of 2020, work from home has increased by a huge number. And because of work from home, we are at the comfort of home. Yes, we all understand. But with that, we also have no 9 to 5 anymore. We might start at 9, but we may end up at 9 p.m. in the night. We might end up finishing our work by 10 p.m. in the night. Our meetings would start from 8 p.m. in the night because the bosses, our managers also know that we are at home and we can attend sessions, we can attend calls anytime, any place. And this causes a lot of stress in our heads. A lot of our energy is utilized while attending these sessions because it happens all day, and our work life balance also reduces quite a lot. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yeah, I
Absolutely,
agree on that.
absolutely, buddy. Because what the thing
Absolutely.
has happened with the advent of social media, the short videos of 15 seconds and 20 seconds have in turn reprogrammed our mind in such a way that we are not able to focus. So the focus of a student, focus of a working professional has drained down to at max 20 seconds. And this in turn is going to harm the so-called humanity at the very long end, because what we homo sapiens are as of today, we are result of successive 7 billion of result of 7 billion years, and in turn having this kind of structural psychological impact on our brain functionality would in turn be very much detrimental. So I also agree that having a digital detox is utmost important when we care about our physical and mental health.
Yes, I too agree on that, because in today's world, every one of each one of the person has become addictive towards the digital media. So they are addictive towards their phone, their laptop, their everything that is digital. Okay, so a digital detox will be a escape for them, will be a escape for their minds, and will give them a peace from all this hustles and bustle.
I think
So I
digital detox
also
is
definitely agree with all the points. Like today, the attention span has reduced to very small amounts, and people have the urge to check their mobiles or laptops in every 5 or 10 minutes. And one of the main reasons is the social media, and this is causing very detrimental effect on the health of the people. And we can also see that even a 3 year small child today operates mobile phones very effectively. So, but the parents think that that is good, like his or her child is operating the mobile, but in the long run the child becomes addicted to that, which leads to very detrimental consequences in the childhood. So yeah, digital detox is very necessary, not even for the not only for the children but also for adults as well. Yeah.
And
we are
now
talking about
we
the
are
long
having
run
a thought
in
that
all the
how this
conversation.
detox is important and how we can do this detox. Basically, we can do meditations, we can do exercises in our daily yoga. Okay, so this will be a main plus point in our detox.
Yeah, I would like to add some more points. How can we make ourselves detox? So basically, it's our intention, I guess, because I have observed myself most of the time that when I'm in my free time also, if there is no work, what I do, I usually search in YouTube, or I feel that is not productive for me, but still I'm doing it. So it's basically our intention. So our intention should be strong enough, otherwise we cannot make ourselves detox from this all this digital media, I think.
Guys,
I disagree on this fact
detox.
because
I
the office
in that
going
digital
people,
detox.
basically, what
Yeah.
about them? They are having the 9 to 5 jobs, right? And they are working from home. So they are stick on their digital media platforms. So what
Guys,
about
I
them
think
then?
this is a notion for common, that the talks that we are doing is basically more for common gender,
Common people,
common
yeah.
yeah, common people. A digital detox, I think, is very much important and plays a significant role from to the people who have a lot of followers on digital platforms. Okay, and if you scrutinize the uh, accounts of different types of different avid users, you will find that they frequently do this, and they indulge in with their family, indulge in the things that they like to do, and come back even stronger. Okay, so this shows that digital detox is important. A kind of a break from everything is important, and since digital media and digital interaction is our like a next thing that we are doing every day, I think this is a part of our life now, and a break from now and then a break from everything that we do frequently is necessary. And I think digital detox is really very
Actually, it's totally agreeable because it's part of our life and we cannot deviate direct totally from it. But detox doesn't mean getting cut off completely from the digital world or something like that. We can always consider like detoxing in terms of getting cut off for the the particular timing so that our thoughts and our mind can get clear.
but this can this can be different for everyone. I mean, you cannot quit alcohol by meanwhile a little bit, or you drink every day, or like you are a if you
One
are
thing I would like to add here, uh, so what we see here around, we see that like Priyesh already mentioned, that a lot of influencers on Instagram or social media platforms, they are able to do digital detox. They share a lot of information about digital detox. One thing we need to understand is the disparity. So these influencers, somewhat in the end of at the end of the day, they have some time, they have more time than the others to digitally detox themselves, because uh, what they have to do, they have to promote they have to promote stuff, they have to advertise, and then they're done. But for regular 9 to 5 people, it has become very hard for them to detox, even because all of the day they have to focus on one thing: their mails, their bills, everything. They have to focus on, everything is online right now, so they have to focus a lot over the day. And since work from home has increased, they have to do it all day. And because of this, the long term effects of this, what happens is, there's a phenomenon called blue light. So blue light in the long run affects your capacity of channelizing more information, and disbarges your brain to produce better information, because blue light causes a lot of harm to your eyes and your brain. So for this we need to yeah.
Actually, detox directly linkages to the mental state of the person who is who's working into the digital world, right? So it cannot be directly linked to the physical thing. Just like you observed, your observations are not wrong, but they are not directly linked to digital detoxification. Basically, detoxification is something when we have to do when the things go out over the head. Basically, so it
No,
doesn't
I would like to
consider
disagree with
digital.
that. Digital
Yeah.
detox includes what you say, right? What you're saying right now, and as well as what I am speaking about it, because blue light is something which is very dangerous, and detoxing yourself for some time would reduce this effect. So I think what you are saying is absolutely right, but what I'm saying is not wrong either. It's absolutely right, because with digital,
So
with light, with the online, with our eyes constantly focusing on laptops and phones, there are a lot of mental and physical challenges on us as well.
I think that
so
digital detox is the
basically,
omnipresent, it is a big picture, and it carries different meaning for everyone. Okay, so
yeah,
I
I
think,
totally agree
yeah,
on that point, that there's different meaning for a different person, because every life has its different work to do. Every life has its different work job to perform. So the detox is also a different type in every life. So in this way, we can conclude the session.
Great, guys. Great, great. Now, see, we guys are developing, like, I guess there are 8 participants, and we are having, much more conflicts as compared to the previous one. And it in turn is a good thing, because I'm definitely sure that the same 8 participants are not going to be in the same room, or rather, same GD room together. So, in our respective GD rooms, I guess we'll be dominating. That's a great point. And a quick update, guys. Last 5 minutes are left, so let's just have a little casual discussion, and then we can rejoin the same link. Today I have scheduled it for 3 hours, so let me just see whether it's supporting it or not. Or if not, then I'll reshare a new link.
So Himanshu,
Also, I
can
would
you
like to.
tell me just
Oh,
can you just give us short feedback about every one of us, that how we performed in this GD?
I I would like to give one feedback to Advik. Advik, in the end,
Yes.
while there were 10 seconds left, I wish that you could have said more after saying that. So with this, we would like to conclude this session. You could have added some more statements or a sentence in the last 10 seconds. Anything in the end that we all discussed. Maybe like saying, ki, okay, so in the end, I would like to conclude this by saying that digital detox is very important, and it has a lot of mental and physical uh, physical effects on our body, and hence it is very important. Just something like that, something of that sort in the last 10 to 10 seconds, 10 to 12 seconds, because in the end, for the 5 6 seconds, we were just waiting because we didn't have anything else to say. And also, you already mentioned that with this, we would like to be concluding. So I think
Yes,
that
yes.
this could be done.
Yeah, okay. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you so much.
yeah, yeah. Rest everything was fine, guys. Yeah, someone's speaking. Yeah, Dimpy, go ahead.
Yes. So basically, I want to know one thing. As you were a part of the GD session last year, so basically, is there any timer that we can see, or
No, no,
how
no,
can
no.
we make it?
It is not there. Wait, yeah, it's a great point. Last 4 minutes remaining. I just quickly pointed out. So here I have turned on my what do you say this video? Okay.
Okay.
So uh, can you guys see? Yeah. So now see what happens. At the moment I have pointed out my timer on screen at the very center, right? So I'm looking at it. Now let's say if this timer was not there, where would I be looking? At the very bottom of my taskbar, right? So see what happens to my eyes when I look over there, that what's the time. You can see that at the moment I'm not looking into the camera, and this in turn shows that my focus is not on the GD. To the person who is reviewing us, to those two people, it is a very clear indication that we are not focusing on what is going on in the discussion. Rather, we are focusing what is left for us. So like it's a clear indication that we are fearful that we won't be getting much time to speak for ourselves. It's a clear indication, right? So that's why for this week, I am putting out these timers at the very center, and so that we can, have that organic development of time calculation. That okay, so this is what somewhat time have been spent, and this much might be remaining, so that you get your chance in the GD, speak about it, and then just keep looking into the webcam, as in it's going to be digital this year again. So you don't have that aspect where in person GD there used to be clocks and you could just graze your eyes very easily. But here, if you graze your eyes, then because the webcams are very close to you, it will immediately point it out to the panelists.
So has there been ever a time where y'all are discussing and the panelists have to enter and say, okay, the time is up? Because I think a lot of
for last 2
times
minutes,
this would
they just
happen.
quickly tell. In the last 2 minutes, they just quickly intervene and say, and they are always communicating through chat.
Yeah.
So they'll just put out the time that last 2 minutes left.
Because
And
I feel when we are discussing, we won't be able to understand if 8 minutes went by or 10 minutes or 12 minutes, because once after 2-3 minutes when we are in the form, we just keep thinking about what we'll be saying next, or when to intervene, or just when to speak. So we lose track of time in the end. So I thought maybe
at the moment it's true. At the moment it's true, but in the longer run, like after 1 week, 2 weeks, we need to develop this habit.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Like, see, it won't be very accurate. You won't be able to tell exactly it's 10:13 or 10:15, but a rough estimation that, okay, about 5 minutes are left, or rather about 2 minutes are last left. You'll just get that hunch once you start practicing.
Yeah, that much we can get idea.
Will they mention that you have to conclude the session now, or the GD?
Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. And when they do it is, for example, there are 10 members in your GD, and about 2 or 3 haven't spoken haven't intervened anyway in the entire GD proceeding. So what they do, they just at the end simply ask them that Mr. XYZ, can you please conclude the GD? So the panelists, the judges themselves will come intervene us, and they will ask us to.
But this is not a good sign. Yesterday, someone was mentioning that this thing
Of
happened
course,
in one
this
interview.
in turn
So
shows that this in turn shows that as a team, you
are not
GD,
cooperative.
the people involved in GD are not good. But definitely, you are going to scrutinize.
Be penalized.
Definitely. Okay, guys, I'm ending this one, and let's join back in the same link. And if not happens, then WhatsApp me. I'll share a new one.
Okay.